Hi, I'm Belinda Fenty.
And I'm Pauline Nakirya.
Welcome to Let's React podcast, the podcast that amplifies the voices of artists from underrepresented backgrounds in the UK and beyond.
Yeah, we'll share our experiences, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. From addressing underrepresentation
to celebrating diverse, rich stories.
Join us on this journey as we react to the world around us and inspire change in the industry. I tried to put myself out there because when I had, obviously it was during lockdown and we didn't get a chance to meet other parents in person. So what the health visitor did was to put us with mums who'd had babies about the same time in the area. So she asked us for permission and put us in a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And then we started chatting to each other, and we were going over to each other's houses, obviously in the garden because of a lockdown.
Please don't call the police.
No, this was after things were lifted a little bit. So we were not in the house, we're in the garden.
Just to clarify, and observing the 2-meter rule.
I don't want things coming back to bite me in the arse, I'm seeing what's happening with a lot of people, But no, so when we moved here, I wanted to kind of create that same vibe, with similar mums and things like that. And I've never been one of those people who goes out to meet other parents, but I thought it would be good for me anyway.
Yeah.
Especially being new in the area and knowing what are the new places or the good places to go with kids. And so, she was like, oh, yeah. And then I tried to message a couple of other mums, but 3 of them had already moved out of the area. So it was kind of pointless. And then I kind of when I spoke to this one mum and she responded back to me, and I was like, I just can't be asked.
No.
So, and when
ghosted her mum.
No, the other mums, I just left them. And then, then went to nursery. I made friends with these other mums at nursery, so I made friends. But I think it's always easier if you make friends with the parents first than the kids being friends, and then you become friends with those parents because you're technically... Yeah, because you're kind of not choosing your friends and you're only friends because of your kids. So if your kids then have a dispute or a little fight, you kind of don't know how to handle it. But when you're kind of technically friends before the kids become friends, the kids have no choice but to be friends, or they kind of learn to play together more.
Yeah.
But it also means that you as a parent, you have things in common, you like the people that you choose your parent friends, you know what I mean?
It's a really good tactic.
Yeah, honestly, it's much harder to be friends with parents when the kids are the friends. It's
so basically hard. Your kids could have awful taste parents. Otherwise, you might be reduced to small talk, which is just the worst. If you're lucky, you might be reduced to the absolute worst, I guess, is a sort of weird, awkward silence that you're not both happy with.
Yeah.
So you're just trying to find each other in that silence, but unable to.
Yeah. But I just realized we didn't even say hello properly to each other.
I know. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes. And we were just talking about making friends with parents on my part.
So, Pauline, since I last saw you, something happened. What happened?
Yeah, so I thought I would, as you know, I love to try and keep on top of my fitness as well and doing different things. So I thought I'd complement my skipping and things like that with going back to playing basketball much more often and stuff. And I used to play basketball when I was at university, for the university, and I thought, okay. So yeah, and then I was playing basketball anyway, and I just thought I had the moves. And I just went, ha-ba-ba-ba-bam. And I wasn't fast enough. I thought I was fast enough. And I kind of heard a bang. And then it felt like someone had kicked me in the back of my leg. I turned around, there was no one there. And then when I looked forward and I was trying to stand up, everyone was looking at me like, hey, you okay? Where'd you stop? And and I realized I couldn't stand properly on my 2 feet. And I felt like I was on uneven ground. And I was like, I don't think my leg's all right. They're like, can you continue playing? And I was like, I don't think I should. So I went and
Yeah.
sat down. They gave me an ice pack. I put it on my heel on the back because I could just feel like it wasn't like a pain. It was like a weird numbness. Like I guess I still had adrenaline going through my body.
Yeah.
So it just felt like I felt something wasn't right because when I try and
Mm.
stand, it would kind of ooh, the other muscles would be like ooh, and then I felt an evenness. So I put an ice pack. I got my sock above it to hold it in place. I say that because I need to take my daughter to the toilet. I had taken my daughter with me. And
Oh,
yeah, so I was just sat there for a minute. I was able to kind of move my leg at this point, but again, adrenaline, all
yeah.
these things happening. I don't know what's going on, but I knew it's not my ankle because my ankle felt fine. But
Mm.
when I would attach the back of my leg, because one of the lovely ladies, she was like, "I hope you haven't busted your Achilles," because I did mine in and it was not fun. And
Oh,
she showed me her surgery, and I was like, oh. So then I felt, and I realized I couldn't feel my
yeah.
tendon,
Yeah.
and I was like, I think I busted my Achilles tendon. So, but I had to drive home because I had my daughter with me. So I couldn't go to A&E with my daughter. Mind you, this is like now it's about 6:30 when this has happened. And so it's coming to 7. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna head home instead of staying to watch and things like that. I'm gonna head home, take my daughter home while adrenaline is still in my system, so that when I get home, I can then get my partner to take me to A&E. And so that's what I did. And I can just say, like, the driving was hilarious. I'm so glad. I'm so grateful for cruise control because I don't know if I would have been able to, keep the pedals and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And because it's my right foot, so because the clutch does a lot of fast movement, so that was okay in a
Mm.
way.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then went to Annie, and he just looked at it. He did the physical test where he gets you to kneel and then you feels your muscles. So when they squeeze your calf muscles,
Yeah. Yeah.
your
Yeah.
your foot reacts, basically moves. So like the knee jerk reaction basically. So yeah, and he was like, yeah, that's not moving. He was like, and that's when I started to feel the pain because then I had taken paracetamol as well on our way to A&E because I was like, just take it now just in case. So when
Yeah.
then he said to look at my legs, this is now like 3 hours later, I could start to feel tinges. So when I was moving my leg, I could just feel pain. I was just like, oh, so yeah, it was painful. It had to hurt. And yeah, so I had to put in a class. The following week, I went in to see the ortho team who then gave me my options, and they told me I have to wear this boot for 10 weeks. And then in 6 weeks' time, they'll adjust it because they have to keep my foot like in the ballet position or on my tippy toes so that allows my tendons to connect and heal. And I'd asked about surgery. She said usually they recommend surgery. They try to avoid surgery, but they recommend surgery if it's like 5 centimeters. But mine is just a little, it's a dip. So she thinks it
Good.
just pulled and just stretched, but didn't snap.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
could still
good.
move my leg a little bit, my
Yeah.
toes, and I could feel they were not numb. So she believed that it wasn't as bad. And so she was like, let's not try and let it heal by itself. Unfortunately, you have to wear this boot. So I have to go in once a week for them to wash my leg and then adjust the boot accordingly, change the dressing and things like that. But they have warned me that in 6 weeks' time, when I start physio, there's obviously going to be muscle loss and
Yeah.
functioning, especially. So I can already see my leg is getting skinnier and skinnier. But she said when the boot is off, I will completely feel it because my leg won't be, the boot at the moment is holding my leg in place because I can walk. So I'm not allowed to use
Yeah.
my crutches as much. I use them once in a while when I feel like there's a pressure on my ankle. But like I can't do much. I realized how much I cannot do with this boot on. I can't drive. I can't walk for long distances. I can't. Yeah, so I've had a few job interviews for, day jobs in a couple of theaters and places. Some of them I had to do them online because I couldn't go to the place because it was just physically I could, but it would mean it would take me a long time to get there. And it was also early days, early weeks, and the pressure on my legs keep moving and stuff. Yeah, I had to get my partner to drive me around. So he drives me around. He's my chauffeur. It's been hard. I've had to go basically cancel a lot of acting work and basically put myself on hold for a little bit, unless it's just audio,
Yeah.
because I can't really do much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So in a way, it's kind of like, hindsight. Good I canceled my spotlight because I'd be pretty
But yeah.
useless, you know?
Oh, bless you. Yeah,
Um,
I get
there's
you.
so many things because like we also got rid of the second car, which was everything happened before and then my leg snapped. Basically, I can't do much. And it's
Yeah.
like it feels like everything's working out like this for a reason. That's the
Yeah,
positive
like
twist
it's
I'd like to put on it.
yeah, exactly. It's good to kind of spin it so that you can sort of find the benefits.
Yes.
Even though we prefer it hadn't happened, but like yeah,
Yeah.
we can find some benefits. So you're having like enforced rest.
Yeah. Which
But at
I
the same time, it's weird because you've got enforced rest,
yeah.
but things are harder to do.
Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
a way, it must feel more exhausting, even though you're being there's things that you literally can't do.
Yeah, it's true
It's
because
weird.
like yeah, it's a hard one, but then I feel like it's the universe's way of giving me a chance to actually like force me to rest because you know how it's been mentally draining the last year and a half basically, and I feel like it's forcing me to readjust and reassess priorities. So like things that I
Yeah.
thought I need to do, I don't have to do.
Yes.
It's also been harder mentally for me because I'm just like, I can't do this, I can't do that. But then I'm like, wait, actually, no, that's a good thing. So it's allowed me to actually really think about my goals, really think about the things I want to do. And I feel like in that sense, I guess that's the positive I'm seeing out of it because I've realized it's allowed me to slow down
Yeah.
and then think about, okay, so what do I want to do with this? What do I want to do with that? How do I want to do this? And so it's allowing me to actually plan my year next year and think about the year and how not just about long-term goals or whatever, that's always important, but it's also making me think about how I want to work, how I want to live, how I want to do things or achieve things. How can I achieve those things without breaking my body, basically?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of reflections and things like that. So that's why like even the social media has been slow and quiet because I'm just now thinking I'm trying to build a more focused approach than trying to do everything. And so yes, it's also been eye-opening and I have so much respect for people who are less able than I am. Because like everywhere I go, when someone is offering me a wheelchair and I'm like, oh, okay, but then I realize, yes, I can't, I need it.
Yeah.
Stairs is like I can't use stairs as easily, I have to really think about when I'm walking, is it slippery? Like there was a bit of frosty
Yes.
ground and things like that. All these things, I never realized how much, and even in the house at home, like
Yeah.
I realized how much tea I drink. Now it's effort. And also then carrying the tea to
Oh,
go and sit
wow.
down. I can't. So imagine someone who lives by themselves and is not able to do these things and just like I honestly genuinely have so much respect. I know I understand even more and empathize how much
Mm.
harder it is to do things that you wouldn't normally think about. Even taking a shower. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Belinda, like taking a shower is like I have to plan it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just have to. And yeah, it's all these things. My daughter
Wow.
has suggested put in like a stair lift, like a seat. But yeah, and allow me to rethink all these things and speaking to my agent, who I thought was going to be upset, but actually I feel like it worked out in a way that means that I take sabbatical and allow myself to adjust and come back with a better plan, a newer plan. Because I want to do new headshots, and focus on
I
like
mean, I liked your headshots, but yeah.
yeah, no, because my locks are getting
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah, true, true.
And yeah, and I thought like it would be fun and exciting. Also the ones I have are all right, but I feel like my previous person I went to did a better job.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
I
yeah.
love the outcome of them because I love the my
Yeah.
skin tone. It was
I
much more,
know what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Like at some point I want probably some more Faye. Some people just capture
Just
you,
capture you.
like bringing out our skin tone.
Yeah, without making it look so like so much work was put into doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think I like that she also tries to get you to get that moment the first time, the moment like when she's taking the photos, not for her to fix it in post, you know.
Yes,
So she'll, if she
the
sees like
lighting is
the,
perfect.
yeah, she'll even tell you when your hair is out of place. She'll look at
Yeah,
you. She'll be like, "Oh, you just move a little bit like this." Or, if you've got a spot, she'll tell you, "Oh, you've got a spot there. If we just tweak it a little bit, so that there's moments like I feel like she is that kind of person who tells you when you're."
exactly.
So then she
She's
does
almost there with you on the other side as well.
exactly.
And then
Yeah.
like the lighting's so important because I've
Mm.
been kind of made to look
Mm.
darker or a lot lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Which and or even worse when they do the shadows and
Hmm.
so they make it look like under your eye is dark, but it's
Yeah.
shadow because the lighting's not right.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, so now you're gonna have to edit that, soften that up, but you could have just had the right
Changed
lighting
it.
because I had this photo a few months ago
Mhm.
and I don't think my face has changed that much. And I'm looking in the mirror going, wait, but that's not there. Why
Yeah.
is it? But it's because of yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause she will be thinking
Uh-huh.
about that. She'll be
Hmm.
thinking, oh, too much shadow there. It's making
Yeah.
that look. Yeah.
And yeah, and if anyone's wondering, we're talking about Faye Summerfield, headshots. And she also does, for people of color, if you change your hair, she does a package where if after a few months you change your hair, you can go back and she'll do a new set of photos for you. Which I appreciate because like it's just hard. Like sometimes you look at a photo, when you ask your agent, so what photo did you use when you're going to a commercial? Like what headshot did you use? And yeah, but I like a photographer who understands. I think it also helps when they've been an actor themselves, but who really understands the person they're taking the photo of, not just because they're there to take headshots. You need this character, you need this character, you need this character. More
Yeah.
focused of what do you want and how can I help you with that, which is very
Yeah.
rare
How
to
can I
get.
capture you? Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's ones that manage to really capture you. You
Mm,
look at it and you go,
mm.
yeah, that's me.
Yes. Yeah. And and then there's some who just trying to make you. I did some photos for someone else and they did this. Do you want to try it? And
Yeah,
kind of like, but I thought it's about me because I'm my type,
exactly.
I used
I.
to also use Alicia Love, but she moved out. She moved
Oh,
out to
okay.
Cornwall.
Yeah.
Alicia Love was my go-to because I got her to take my headshots when she just also started out. Like I look at the photos that she'd done for me from when I started, when she'd also just started and just go to her house and she's like, okay, all right, let's go and take a walk down this way. And then we take photos and then I'm just seeing the progress and I'm just like, and it was nice because we understood each other because after a few years, you kind of know each other, you know what you're doing. And I felt like that's what I got. So when she moved, I was like, and I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
because it's a mission to get there, surprisingly for me to say, because I like travel.
Yeah. Cornwall though. Yeah. You'll have
um,
to make a holiday of it if
yeah,
you were to.
true. But I don't want to build that thing with my kids that every time I have to do something, it's a
You're going to
holiday. But first, as you guys are having fun, mom's gonna go and do something. Yeah, it's just I really don't want to actually do that because I feel like I do that a lot. Like when we're going
yeah,
somewhere, it's like, oh, because I've got a shoot, or I've got a job there, oh, I'm doing this. So there's
yeah.
always something connected to it. So I'm trying to do less of that. So it feels like my focus when we go away, we're going away.
I
We've got
really would love to go away actually.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because we're kind of go, 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 go,
Mm.
go, go, go.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's so few days where I can't remember the last time I've not had a plan on a day, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
then you never have a lie-in, and
Mm.
also you've also got like some sort of work, even if it's fun work,
Yeah.
it's still a lack of rest or
Mm.
people, and I feel like I need a kind of break. But in a way, I feel like we have one coming up because the acting industry is normally pretty quiet around Christmas until the new year. So, but it would be nice to be going away for it. I've not ruled it out. Me and my
Mhm.
family are looking,
Okay.
but things are just so expensive. But you never know, we might find a deal that works. It's good to get out of your environment as
Yeah.
well, the break. But yeah.
No, it's true. It's good to think about it. So what kind of break are you thinking of? Is it like I want to chill, read a book, read all the books I've been wanting to read, go for the occasional walk? Is it a beach
Yeah, I
holiday?
get
Is it
you.
what is it?
Practically, we've been looking at, what's actually affordable. So like, Canaries or whatever, and anything will do practically. But if money were no object right now,
Mm,
I would have a small trip with my family and
mhm,
then I'd go off somewhere really exciting that had chill to it at the same time, though. So
mm.
exciting, but I can relax. I don't know, like Costa Rica, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, somewhere tropical. And
Mm,
then I'd have the mixture of beach and yeah, definitely some reading. But then
mm,
I'd also maybe be able to do possibly something spiritual, like
mm.
some sort of retreat. I'd also be able to do some hiking. Yes, it'd be a mix of and enjoying a new culture because I've never been, and the language and the food. So it would have a nice mixture of everything, you know? I
Yeah.
do want the reading and beach, but I know also that I can only do that for a certain amount of time. And then I love the richness of a new culture and the
Yeah.
music and the yeah.
It's something outside of your comfort zone that you don't normally do. Or well, not comfort zone, but try something new.
Yeah, be
Explore.
immersed in something new.
Mm.
And interestingly, outside of my comfort zone often is inside of my comfort zone
Okay.
because I just love it. I love newness. I love
Hmm.
discovery. I love just taking stuff in, sitting
Yeah.
back and taking stuff in. Actually, speaking of that, I'm going to very quickly say my recommendation of the month because I just saw it. There's a new film by I think her name is Payal Kapadia. Sorry if I got her name wrong. But it's called All We Imagine as Light.
All we imagine as light.
Yeah, which is a beautiful, beautiful title. And it's poetic, which is interesting because there's a lot of poetry and philosophical statements that some of the characters say in the
Mhm.
film.
Mhm.
But it's set in Mumbai.
Okay.
It's like unlike any film I've watched. It's not polished, which is great. It's not been given the kind of Hollywood treatment of let's plaster our lead actors in makeup and have this glossy life. It's very real, and I
Hmm.
felt like I was transported to Mumbai.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I noticed that, in fact, the beginning almost feels like a documentary. You feel like you're in a documentary. It's
Wow.
that real. There's minimal external, like, side soundtrack. A lot of it is the noises you would expect in the environment. There is some music, but it's not like, yeah,
Overbearing.
yeah, you barely notice it. And that helps make it more real as well. It's led by three women. Again, I've rarely seen that. I've rarely seen that. The only times I think I've seen that, or when you do kind of see that, is where that is the story. Like it's maybe Widows or it's Charlie's Angels. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
these are the women doing, but it's not like that. It's just this is life. It's not we are choosing women because it's more
Yes.
following these characters. We're
Yes.
following these people
Hmm.
because this is existing. This is what happens. Yeah. So, and I noticed that as I was watching it and I felt transported there, I
Yeah.
felt really relaxed in the way that there's a relaxation that I get sometimes when I'm traveling in different places that is just like, oh,
Hmm.
can't explain it, but there's something very comforting about that stepping into another world for me.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
That
that's
sounds,
my recommendation.
no, that sounds beautiful. That sounds really good. I would love to see that actually, because it sounds like it's way up my street. For me, for my recommendation, I don't think I have any because I haven't really been focused on much. I guess it is more of like, thinking about your goals at the moment, recommending that taking a breath, taking a minute, which I have been forced to. And so yeah, I'm using this as an opportunity to do that. So I guess, yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing what I come up with for my year ahead. I'm
You've
taking the
already inspired me, actually. Just you talking about even how hard it is and how much of an effort it is to have a shower. It's like, oh my God, like there's just so much that I can be actively grateful to that I
Mm.
wouldn't even think of, you know?
Yeah.
I would be normally just like a shower is just part of your day. But
Mm.
now I'm thinking, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is something like every single thing that I do, I can be more grateful for.
Yeah. Like
Smaller.
genuinely, it's so small thing.
Yeah.
No, it's true because until something happens that you don't realize how something that feels so small actually makes a difference. But yeah, so I think it's always good to take the time and having that better understanding of that as well, of what that means to take the time, not just go, okay, let me sit here in my thoughts. No, it's like literally actively also taking that time to go, okay, why am I doing that? Okay, I'm going to do that, but do I need to do that now? How can I do it differently? So also thinking about working differently, working smarter than harder, as they like to say, but like that's all been part of my process of realizing that taking a minute to think is not also just going, I need to breathe and meditate. It's
Yeah.
also actually actively meditating because meditating is not just being quiet and having a moment. It's
Yeah.
also how is that working for you as a person? So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah, mindfulness, like in terms of my thing about mindfulness, actually, now that I've thought about it. Oh God. Oh
Oh,
God, sorry, I'm here all day. Yeah, no, but it's just helped me realize that because I also always had this idea about what meditation is. Like you have to sit down, focus, like concentrate on something and think about things, go through things that are happening. But we actually do that all the time. And I guess it's helped me further sharpen that tool of focusing and being mindful of how and what I'm doing and how that affects me and also other people. And especially within my family unit as well, being a mom, like knowing that I now can't just get up and go, I also realized my kids, man. I do so much for my kids. They could do some of the things themselves. I realized I do a lot of stuff for them, Belinda. I was like,
so funny.
I was sitting there, I was just like, okay. And then my daughter's like, oh, I'd like some crisps. Can I have some crisps, please? I was like, yeah, sure. Go get it. And she sat there waiting. And I looked at her, I was like, yo, are you not gonna get them? Oh, you're not gonna get them for me, Mama. I was like, no, I'm not. And I pointed at my leg. And she went, oh yeah, okay, I'll go get it. I
Yes.
know. And
You
I
didn't
was like,
even
I
realize.
didn't realize because I'm so used to going, okay, you want a snack? We'll just get up and go and get it. And,
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was like, oh my God. So yeah, I've been also it's been helping me adjust my parenting style. So I was like,
Visibly like, damn it.
yeah,
She's noticed. We're gonna have to do more now. Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like yeah, even when they finish eating their food, like simple thing like taking your plate to the sink. Don't wait for me to clear the table. Clear your own plate and take it. Yeah, so it's made me realize all these little things that I hadn't really thought about, and now I just focus on and yeah, and it's just yeah, little things like that. So I'm working on that really, really slowly.
What
So.
sort of meditation do you do when you carve out time for it?
So it's mostly like thinking about how because sometimes you feel an emotion about something
Mhm.
that's just holding on to you. So I focus to think about why I'm feeling like that. Why am I, say, upset with myself, or maybe how I spoke to my kid about something, and I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
what could I have done to maybe address that situation better? Or when I've had a job interview, or I've had like 4 job interviews in a week, then focusing on, okay, what about it that I didn't feel like worked? So then by the time that I do the next one, what can I take from that and use it for that one? Because I
Wow.
hate talking about when someone goes, like how people like to say, how did the audition go?
Yeah.
And obviously you would normally know exactly what to say. You're like, I think it went well because I did, we had fun, we're laughing, we're chatting. But I feel like also the job interviews is more or less like the same feeling as well now. I've realized when someone is like, how
Mm.
did it go? And I'm like, bogged it. Or like,
Yeah.
I talk too much. Or I was doing a lot of rumbling and mumbling and all these things. And I wasn't very clear. I wasn't specific in some parts. I was specific here. And when and then I got carried away. But then I had a presentation. I lost that time because I was just talking a lot about different things I didn't need to talk about. So I started to think about how I'd be like, okay, if someone asked me that after this interview, how did it go? What do I
Yeah.
say? And why do I get angry when someone is like, oh, how did it go? And then I start getting angry with myself. It didn't go great, it didn't go this. So I started thinking positively more as well. So I started going, okay, but that went well because they were laughing. Oh, why do they laugh? I said this. Okay. So it was more about how I was feeling. So when I'm meditating, it's more about the feeling of what is hanging on to how I'm feeling and then breaking it down and then thinking about how to channel that positively. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a process.
Okay. There's a lot of thinking in your meditation,
Yeah,
during
yes.
your meditation.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say
Yeah.
that. Yeah, a lot of thinking.
But I know you start with the feeling, don't you? Or do
Yeah,
you?
yes,
Then
I
can you
do. I
description of
start with
it?
a feeling because I want to understand
Yeah.
why I feel like that.
Do you sort of like, I don't know, sit cross-legged, lie down and semi-supine? Or is there a certain space? Do you light a candle? Like yeah, how do you practically do your meditation?
I I used to feel like I had to be sat down in a quiet place and think about things, but I found I'm too distracted. Many things pop into my space. So a sound of someone honking, a sound of this going. But when I started listening more to a lot of meditation videos and audio stuff, they say acknowledge those things, but it doesn't have to necessarily be in a quiet place. If you're used to working in an environment where it's not quiet, so you find yourself you're happy to work in a coffee shop. Some people can go into a coffee shop, it'd be busy, but they'll manage to get things done. Maybe you need a space that's noisy. Maybe you need a space to focus. That's how your mind focuses. Because then if you take yourself out of that space and then you go to like a library, for example, to try and work and you find yourself you can't focus. So it's thinking about how your mind also works. So I realized that for me, I can't sit down and go on because my brain is used to noise in order to work. I'm one of those people, I will have music playing while I'm working. I'll have music playing while I'm writing, or, I can easily have something playing in the background and be able to do stuff.
Yeah.
When I've been in with meetings, I'm one of those people, I'm doodling, but I'm listening. So I'm always having to be doing something or something has to be happening. I can't just sit and focus. Because even when I think about it in school, I was one of those kids, I couldn't just sit and focus. I'd just be like, I need to be doing something. So
Yeah.
I realized now that when I'm able to meditate, when I'm even in the car, the kids could be shouting, I kind of somehow block them out, but they're the part of the noise. But I can then think about, okay, yeah, yeah. And sometimes my partner said he'll be there and just go, yeah, yeah. And he'll be like, yeah, what's that? And I'm like, what? Did I say something? And he's like, yeah, you were talking about something. But I realized that I'm able to start to then even talk through the process through myself. But I'm now getting used to doing it anywhere. I feel like I need it. When I need it, I take a minute and do it. I don't
Yeah.
wait to be in the
So
right space.
meditation for you sounds like taking some space to think.
Yeah.
So allowing yourself to kind of go inwards and think.
Yeah.
But yeah, take space. Oh, that's so interesting.
And do it in that moment than waiting because by the time I wait, I'm overthinking it because I realize I start to overthink things and every action after that, no matter what it is, I feel like it doesn't feel 100%. Then I'll be beating myself up about why I didn't do the other thing properly because I was
Hmm.
focused on this other thing that I didn't get a chance to let go of. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
learned just to
that
start letting go
processing,
of things right in the
processes.
moment.
Yeah, because there's so many different types of meditation. Anyway, just
Yeah.
for listeners, I was going to say a Vipassana retreat. So
Yeah.
that is a 10-day silent meditation retreat. You go along, you're not allowed to talk, obviously. You also need to minimize like eye contact with other
Mhm.
people who are there.
Mhm.
You really are in your own bubble.
Bubble.
So
Yes.
you have 10 days. Not only that, there's no reading,
Mhm.
there's no writing on the walls, there's no
Mhm.
art on the walls, there's no music, that you're not allowed to exercise. You can walk, and there's like some walking times, but you can't like do a workout. You can't do anything that could take you out of this bubble. You can't bring a
Mm.
pen, you can't write, like literally. So as a consequence, during these 10 days, you have very few inputs. You realize so all that's left really is the current moment and whatever is in your head historically in the past. Because you're not getting any new sound into your ears. You're not getting any new engagement. You're not getting any new news from your phone because your phone's locked away. You don't have a phone. You don't
Yeah.
have a computer. You're literally just there in the moment, present, yourself
Hmm.
and what's around you.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean,
How
a
did
lot
you
of
find
people
it?
I knew it was going to be hard for me,
Mm.
especially because, yeah, like you, I'm very active and hyperactive too.
Mm.
Yeah, like a bit of like need to be doing stuff
Mm.
and don't really enjoy sitting still either. I work
Mm.
from a treadmill if I have to be still. So yeah, I knew that would be hard. I also knew that I would get bored, and I did get bored. It is boring. You're meditating for around 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Also, because you're not moving much, you don't get tired. So they would wake you up at 4 a.m. the big gong gong bell, but it would then as the lights go out and you finished your meditation, there's nothing really to do. So really you could go to bed at, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, but you're not tired. You're not tired because you've not been,
Actively
well,
doing
so
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really weird. But like overall, by the end of the 10 days, I'd say I found it rejuvenating. And it's
Yeah.
the sort of meditation where actually it's all about being present and
Mm.
you try not to actively like think through problems or the past or whatever.
Mm.
But of course, as you empty your brain, random memories will come up
Mm.
and things will come up. But for the most part, what you're doing is you just for 10 hours feeling the sensations around your body, embracing it. Like if a thought crosses your mind, you can say, I see you thought crossing your mind because then it kind of detaches you from the thought and
Mm.
you are the person observing you thinking in a way. What's behind that? Yeah. And it starts the very first day, you start by feeling the sensations on just a small bit of your lip, above your
Mm.
lip, as the air goes in and out. And you're supposed to just bring every time you wonder, which will be a lot, it could be every second that you're wondering, but every time you wonder, you notice yourself wondering, bring yourself back to the sensations in this tiny area. And it was
Mm.
really hard. But I think day 2 or day 3, it had become really easy.
Mm.
Gain this immense level of focus during it, the
Mm.
ability to focus on the small area and not let your mind wander, but not from force, but from simply focusing back on the task. Each time you do wander, then you start to wander
Yes.
less. And then as the week progresses, that expands to like your whole body and it expands
Yeah.
to the whole movement and this amazing presence. So yeah, I highly recommend it to anyone who's thinking about it. You
Mm.
do it for free at a place called Dipadama. I want to find the right
Yeah, it
one.
sounds intriguing. I've been watching this documentary. What's it called? It's with Chris Hemsworth on Disney, and basically he realized that he found out that he has a very high chance of either, well, my partner's telling me, of either dementia or Alzheimer's, of
Mhm.
getting it. So it made him rethink about how he's living his life and how he thinks about fitness, because what he thinks fitness is wasn't what that was not going to help him in terms of getting to that point when his body starts to fail, shall we say.
Yeah,
So he thought that he would start to learn techniques and things that could help him not put it off, but help him manage it, help his body cope better with that illness so that he doesn't fully like he wants to still be able to, meet his grandkids, or if he ever has grandkids and all these things, and live a much more long and fruitful life. So
yeah,
he goes on this journey of like finding how other people are learning survival techniques. So things like getting over your fear, in one of the episodes, and it involved him basically being blindfolded
Yeah.
and tied the back like he's going to be walking across a crane high up, but it was all on the
Yeah.
ground. And then he was told to walk forward. And so, but he was, I think, oh yeah, not blindfold, he was given a VR thing. So
Oh,
it
okay.
mimicked going up into an
Yeah.
into a crane and then walking across. And even though he knew he was flat on the ground,
Yeah.
but because of the virtual reality, creating this idea he's up in the air with all these buildings and skyscrapers, he couldn't get over that, getting to a certain point, and his heart rate was going up.
I can imagine. And mine's like,
Yeah. But it was so one that was one of them, and another one was, the one of the cold, getting used to the cold. So there's this survival scientist the one who swam around the UK. Do you remember
okay,
him? And he's done a lot of basically he's trying to understand how the body, how much can we push our bodies? And
sure.
he thought instead of getting people to do it, he'll do it himself. So this guy, he's
Yeah.
actually built and fit, but he pushes his body to not to its limits, but he's trying to find how like our ancestors, shall we say, survived. How did they survive illnesses? How did they survive certain things? Because even though they didn't live for that long, but a lot of that was mostly because of being eaten by something else. But in terms of disease, it wasn't as significant as it is now, because there's people live longer nowadays, but their bodies have gotten used to you know food being readily available, or but got used to having a quick workout machines that tell them you're going to lose weight if we just shake your belly for this long, you'll lose weight. It's like packaged kind of survival in a way, whereas we're slowly losing that aspect of our previous selves, like our how we used to survive it. Well, one of them was saying about the our jaw lines basically are going smaller. That's why sometimes more and more people need braces, because there's not enough gaps. Because before, like the food we were eating required us to bite to move our jaws enough to allow it to widen, and
Mhm.
so allowing ourselves like exercising our jaws often every day just to get it to allow it to sit, especially with kids and things like that, just to get them moving the jawline and allow the brain to think. You need more space, so that little things that are part of evolution in a way, but because our bodies are getting so used to, our food is cut up for us, or this and things like that. We don't have that survival instinct per se. And he did the fasting one. He did 4 days of fasting, and he's just drinking water. And the doctor who was doing it with him said that, we obviously, I know you did at the island with Bear Grylls, but that whole thing of just when your body gets to a certain point, it allows your body to start to realize that what do we need and what don't we need in this body right now that's going to help us survive.
I do water fasts as well, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, no, but I'm just
aside
saying.
from the island, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but what Chris Hemsworth is doing is basically so the fasting to get the body to force the old cells out, to kind of get rid of them, because the things that take up space basically is like clearing out your wardrobe,
Yeah,
clearing out
yeah,
the freezing, the ice, very cold, and then the very hot, pushing your body to the limit so that when you're cold, because it was like the first thing you do is you're gasping. It's like, but
yeah.
why? Why are you gasping? You can breathe. It's just cold. But why does your body feel like you need to be gasping? You're out of air. But that's because your body, you're obviously
Like,
yeah, they're getting smaller, all these
of
things,
water, yeah.
survival, So he's learning how those things actually really help. But basically, the idea is that when you get to a certain point of fear, especially fear, your body then lets go, and you have much more control of your mind, of everything else. And so that's what he's trying to do, to understand his mind better.
Wow.
It was basically him trying to discover how to not control his mind. Well, actually, it is technically controlling your mind, but by doing that, it means you use your mind to get rid of the things that you don't need in your body. So overcoming your fears, pushing your body to the extremes of the heat, the cold, fasting, and why it's good for you to fast and all these things, that the health benefits of all these things to the body. And so that's what I've been watching at the moment. It's really fun. It's funny because he grabs his brothers and his friends along, and they, what some of them, when they're with him, supporting him. Yes, we got you. And then like the fasting one, they were like, yeah, we'll do it with you. Yeah, 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 we'll do it with you. Day free. They saw some people having pizza and they're like, oh my God, this is the best pizza. And yeah, he had to do the deep diving thing because he wanted to fish he was like, I couldn't easily just finish this fast, break this fast by cooking up a meal, but I want to actually swim and get the food to see how much your body will push your survival to get you to, you know.
Yeah,
So, but he was with those free divers, and she was
yeah.
helping him how to hold his breath, how to work on all these things. And she was saying, yeah, when your body gets to a point and you realize she can hold her breath for up to 6 minutes. You know how much your body can do because
Wow.
it has the oxygen. It just needs to not panic because it's so used to
Yeah.
having it straight away. When you breathe, you don't even think about breathing. But when you're underwater, there's something about being in the water. All you hear is nothing, just
Yeah.
sonar sounds, and it's your thoughts. So as a freelance diver, you have to be okay and freelancer. So
Sorry, I knew what you meant. It just sounded
yeah, free
nice.
diver. You have to be okay with your thoughts because when you're down there, that's all you have. And if
Yeah.
you're not comfortable with your thoughts, anything can go wrong. It could
Yeah.
mean life or death. So
I
it's
think that's what
learning.
I like about water, being in water.
Yeah.
Not that life or death element, but everything kind of becoming quiet,
Mm,
space, the sort of like peace that it gives you.
mm.
Maybe like being in a womb.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, being in the womb, because when you're in the womb, it was, when babies hear that, the white noise or brown noise, they calm because it's comforting. Maybe it is
Yeah,
that. Might be onto
maybe.
something there, Dr. Belinda.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, honestly, I think that might be it actually, because that's what we're used to. That's what we heard, is that when people do something as a little kid, like, trauma, when something happens to them, it affects them. So I feel like that is comforting to us
Yeah,
because that's the first thing we felt,
yeah.
And so maybe that's what it is when we're in water. Like when you go away, when they put you in a pod of water and they cover it,
Yes. Yeah,
people,
those shapes.
those
Yeah.
chambers,
Aren't they? Yeah.
yeah, people come out because it just mimics the womb feeling, I think. Maybe, yeah, that might be it. That's why it's comforting. But
Yeah.
I just remembered one bit of the episode. I'll be quick about this, sorry. But like there's this woman, she was in a car accident and she had this pain in her leg. Even 3 years after it healed, she had
Yes.
this constant pain. And she heard that her doctors recommended, we've tried everything. There's nothing wrong with you. It's now mental. So it's maybe thinking about ways of breaking that connection. She had cold therapy. Her doctor told her cold therapy usually breaks those connections. It kind of distorts the signals. So she went to this someone to guide her through it. And the first time she put her leg in iced water, she felt a relief because the
Wow.
pain just because the body focused more on the cold, like, oh my God, it's cold. Like what, and then the brain got confused, like, oh, it's not cold. Wait, we're in pain. No, we're not in pain. Are we in pain? No, it's cold. And so she felt relief for the first time. And so she
Wow.
started doing that therapy. And she said she doesn't feel the pain anymore because her body now knows it's not there. Because it's like the
Wow.
phantom limb, when people lose a leg, that moment they feel like the leg is still there, the itch, the whatever. So it's our brains just can be taught to think differently, and that's the power in it. But because we don't have that control, we panic, by by seeing something, people like shock or whatever. It's because the brain gets overwhelmed and tells them no, and just
Yeah.
stops the heart. And he does say that there's extremes as well. Like if you don't practice, if you don't get your body used to it slowly, you can kill yourself because obviously if you just step into cold water and have a cold shower, you can stop your heart. So there's steps obviously to it. You don't just, you have
Yeah.
to train your body to do it, That's why the free divers train their bodies to do it. Breathing techniques and holding their breath and going slow and stuff like that. But yeah, I found it really fascinating. And I'm like,
Amazing.
yeah, I'm feeling like so connected. I
I
know
love
it's
it.
like joking about it, but genuinely I'm like, if I can get my body to do that, my brain to do that, how much more can I do like to get it to heal, you know?
Yeah,
So, and there's that element that we can get our bodies to heal, especially just the basic things.
so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
God, you've got me thinking, Belinda, do another water fast. So hard, Pauline. I don't
Yeah.
know how I managed to do it. The longest one I've done was 8 days. I
Oh
don't
my
know how.
gosh.
But then, like, even 24 hours is can be really hard.
I
I've not
can't even
done that for a
imagine.
while. I've tried, but I've
Yeah.
been like, oh, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, because that doctor said if
Great.
you do even just 24 hours once a month is good in
Mhm.
long term, it will be good for your body.
Hours can feel so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
It works best for me if I'm not working from home.
Mm.
Because if you're working from home, the thing is,
You're
you have
focused.
cupboards and a fridge. Even if there's minimal stuff in your fridge, because you purposely planned it,
Yeah.
your mind is just like, oh,
Yeah.
but just a few nuts.
Yeah,
But, you know,
yeah.
nuts are healthy.
Bam.
Nuts are healthy.
Because you know, like when you used to go to the library to concentrate and you take your snacks with you because you're like, I'm gonna focus, I'm gonna be in the library for 24 hours reading, doing
Yeah.
that. And then you get there, you just eat all your snacks before you even get started.
Yeah, exactly.
So imagine when
So,
you're fasting and you're at home. Yeah, it's hard. It is
uh,
hard. But I think one of the things they said, the doctor said was that if you decide to do like a 24-hour fast, you can do it like on a Sunday. So you start it like at 5 p.m.
yeah,
or 12. So you start on a Sunday. And because
yeah.
you relax on Sundays, then you go into the Monday when you're going to work, your focus is on different things and other things.
Yeah, that's it. If you're out of the house, because of course I'm busy
Yeah.
at work, but if I'm working from home,
Yeah.
if you're out exactly and you haven't brought a lunch with you,
Yeah.
you'll just be caught up in your work
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So
So he said,
that's
and
when it
then
works
that,
best for me
yeah.
too.
So he said, like,
Yeah.
if you want to start it on the days where you're quiet then busy, and slowly get used to doing it, and then seeing how longer you can push yourself to do it. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah,
You're gonna try it?
I've tried
Oh,
the
cool.
12, I've tried the 24 hours. Like I said, I've tried it. It's hard when
I
you
hear you.
have kids because you're thinking, I need to make them food, so you have to taste something, and you just, damn
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So, no, but that's why I found out about the Sunday thing. If you start on a Sunday, then it will help you go on.
Yeah, after a nice big lunch.
Yeah,
All right, my love, it's been a pleasure. So
I've,
great to catch up with you.
yeah. I love this mindful episode. It's been deep about, yeah, mindfulness and things like that. It's been
It's
nice.
been good for the season as well. Feels
Yeah,
like that time of year where we're starting to approach the end of the year and we're
yeah,
recapping and we're reassessing. And yeah.
yeah. So it's good. It's a
And
good time to do it.
good
Definitely.
time. Thank you to our lovely listeners.
Yeah,
We appreciate you. I
yeah.
hope you have a brilliant week.
Indeed. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Bye.